Sometimes the developer or producer isn't even necessarily interested in the main theme at the beginning. I just want to do it for myself. Because for me, the main theme is the identity of the game. It establishes the mood, the atmosphere, and the character of the music and how it's going to be playing in the background. And that's what we did with Until Dawn. That was actually my demo pitch to Supermassive Games. I put a main theme together, recorded all the instruments at my studio, and sent it to them. And they liked it. We actually ended up recording that exact theme, all the instruments and everything, live here at Ocean Way probably 9 months ago. And that's what we've been using in all the demos for the game, and that's the final version of the theme that is the main theme that you'll hear on the menus and in some key pieces of gameplay.
근데 이게 엔딩이나 이런 게 좀 스토리가 달라져가지고 다른 분들 것도 봐야겠다. 그래도 많이 살았는데 저는 나쁘지 않았던 것 같아요.
Made a name for myself in horror, and there's something about scary music. I think it's maybe the lack of rules. The biggest rule in scary music is there are no rules, so you can do anything you want. And actually, if you end up doing things that don't feel like they would work out together, they kind of clash, and it ends up being even more effective for scary music. So that's what really drew me to Until Dawn, was the textures, plus writing thematic material that is interwoven
잘 어울린다.
with scary
곡
textures.
잘 만들었네.
I haven't really done anything like that before. Usually it was just all tension all the time, and that's fun and it's great. But I'm actually at heart a very melodic composer. That's the kind of music I love listening to, and that's the kind of music I love writing. That's the kind of music I got to work on in Until Dawn.
음악 잘했네. 아, 이것도 궁금했다. CD가 제일 궁금해.
My name is Will Biles, Executive Creative Director of Until Dawn. The first part of getting a believable facial performance in-game is to capture, topographically, the actor's range of emotional expressions as separate versions of the same head. Every tiny nuance gets digitized and merged, effectively creating a model that can recreate every facial movement that the actor makes. Once the topography has been recorded, the actor's performance itself can be captured by using a predetermined set of marker points, drawn precisely on the face, and a high-def helmet cam, wirelessly linked to capture devices. The camera is the small box where it looks like the microphone should be.
표정 봐.
It records in high def the movement of the dots throughout the performance that will drive the expressions captured earlier.
신기하다.
Unlike other systems, this form of capture is far less lossy because there are
미쳤다.
fewer
저거 다 상상해야 돼?
interpretations between performance captured and performance rendered finally in game. The audio is also recorded via two
대박인데 저거
separate
다
lavalier
상상해서 한
mics
거야?
attached to the helmet.
거의 마블인데?
It takes a while for the actors to acclimatize to carrying around the recording devices and the helmet cams, but very soon the shoot becomes similar to any other effects shoot or a green screen shoot.
그거 다 상상하는 거잖아요.
Actors in these scenes are only
Wow.
recording facial animation, but use cursory body movements for pacing.
Wait, and maybe we should all stick together and find everybody and make sure that we're all okay. So
1-1 the year before the prank. Take 2, Mark.
배우들도 고생 많이 했네.
Other than the other actors, they have to use their imagination
그러니까
for
상상력이
everything and
와.
everywhere that they are supposed to be seeing and feeling. From a hot midday studio in Los Angeles to a freezing midnight mountain in British Columbia.
와. 다 대단하다 진짜. 앞에 뭐 영상이나 참고할 만한 것도 없었네. 미쳤는데? 대박이지 않아요? 아니 디트로이트도 그렇고 얘네들도 그렇고 근데 얘네가 더 심한 것 같아요 지금.
Dynamic, ever-changing story. The facial performances and the body
와, 되게
performances are
상상력으로
recorded
저렇게
separately
하지?
with different systems.
와.
With the body capture, we use reflective bead suits and an infrared camera matrix
완전
system
과학이네.
that drives the CG bone hierarchies in our character models.
와. 이런 거 보면 진짜 사람이
These
대단한 것
performances
같아요.
cover everything from character locomotion, scene-specific performances, and stunt work, most of which was recorded at studios in Pinewood and Shepperton, near London.
엄청 자연스러웠는데 이게 다
Combining
분리되어
all
있었던
the
거죠.
elements seamlessly in the final game becomes a formidable editing and logistical task. Every variation, both physical and emotional, must be combined in
와,
these
신기하다.
multi-edits. Scaffolding props have to stand in for the sets, because the hundreds of infrared cameras have to be able to see all of the reflected beads on the actor.
저기서 어떻게 몰입을 해. 대단해.
Was to take a scientific approach to how scary it was. So we did experiments on people and we measured their responses to the game. We've created a test area. It's as close to a home setup as we can get it. We've recruited ordinary people to play the game and we've left them to play it on their own.
You're turning the light on.
The only difference is it's rigged with cameras and microphones that relay the data through to the next room where people are watching them play. Bracelet here we use for biometric testing. It measures the player's emotional response. It's called a galvanic response sensor. It makes contact with the user's skin and it measures the electrical conductivity across their skin.
와,
It's the same
전류가
principle
신기하다.
as an old-fashioned lie detector. When you're stressed, you sweat a little, very sensitive, and picks up tiny changes if the player is feeling anxious or scared. That data's fed back to a testing team, comes through as a graph.
와, 확 올라가네. 아! 툭
No point
떨어졌네.
testing one or two people, you have to test a lot of people.
Watch your step.
When we have a scare that's consistently has a measurable emotional response, then we knew it was good. If it didn't have that, it goes back to the team for improvement. The data doesn't tell us what's wrong with the scare, it only tells us if it's working or not.
Wait, okay, so you hear them too, right? Josh,
Here we have a chapter relatively early in the game.
weirdly regular.
Nothing regular about it.
We
뒤에서
have to
나타났었나?
create tension and anxiety in the player so they are ready to receive the scare.
아이씨. 바닥 한 번 누르고 바닥으로 갔네. 욕했어, 욕했어. 사람 다 또 비슷하구나.
You have to give the player time to recover, to cool down, to calm down, and then start building the tension again before we do the
아,
next.
진짜 신기하다.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What the hell?
Ooh. You just got
Oh.
rocked.
Yeah, I have such an adrenaline high from that game.
There's two things we found. One is we could look at the scares, analyse if our expected scares were working effectively. Were people shrieking and covering their hands, or were they getting an emotional response from it? And being scientific about it means that we strip out people's opinions about whether things are working or not. We've got data, and we look at the data. If it's working, we're happy with it.
Pretty scary.
Bit scared and wanting to get away.
I actually be maybe a bit scared to play on my own, but in a room with the lights on, yeah, with some other people as well, yeah, maybe.
Because I'm a scaredy cat, I would play with someone in the room. And the lights on.
It was one of the scariest games I've played in a long while.
The storyboards are vital to the production design as it allows the designer to understand the scale of the environments to be made and the detail that would be seen to create the atmosphere of a
storyboard.
horror. This took us into concepts that took these storyboards further, visualizing the world through the color palette, the lighting, tone,
쩐다.
and the mood, and developing key locations such as the lodge, the cable car stations, the forests themselves, the wilderness. As you can see, the environment and atmospheres changed quite a bit from warm and inviting to cold and threatening. The Millionaire's Mountain Lodge was a key example. It was designed to be made from nearby stone and timber, embedding it into the landscape, with a contrasting and contemporary interior, needing
인테리어
to be
엄청 좋아.
opulent and extravagant. We created dark and claustrophobic corridors with ominous and large open spaces, almost cathedral-like in size, and with huge structures to silhouette and dwarf the characters within, providing a labyrinth to explore and wander.
I am Hayden Panettiere, and we are here at the studio recording Until Dawn.
My name is Rami Malek.
봐봐, 머큐리잖아.
My name is Megan Martin.
My name is Brett Dalton.
진짜 다 똑같다.
Lentini, and I played Hannah and Beth.
My name is Jordan Fisher, and I play the character Matthew, Matt for short.
I'm Nicole Bloom, and I play Emily in the game.
에밀리는 좀 아닌 것 같아.
Noah Fleiss.
I am Galadriel Simon, and I play Ashley.
So Until Dawn is the story of 8 teenagers who revisit this cabin in the woods about a year later after a really traumatic experience where I've lost 2 of my sisters, so coming to kind of get some closure in that respect.
One of the things that Larry does really well is make these multi-layered characters, and I think for just the story in general, it follows the quintessential horror film plot lines, but the characters are so unique in themselves, and I think that's very cool.
Oh, yeah, this was the right thing to do.
What?
You know, getting everyone together on the anniversary. I mean, Josh seemed really pumped about us all doing something, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I haven't seen him so excited about something in forever.
Good, good. Sam and I have a few things in common, such as being huge lovers of animals, and she's a huge animal lover. She's vegan. She is a pacifist. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna go as far as saying that I'm a pacifist, but she's spunky and cool. I know that she, I think, is made fun of a little bit by the rest of them who think that her morals and her beliefs in that
너무
area
이쁘다.
are a little
저는
ridiculous. and I don't agree with
조시
them,
배우가
but she
제일
doesn't
좋아.
care. It doesn't stop her from being herself, and that's something that I hope I have in common with her.
You know, he definitely can be depressed at some times and a bit of a loner, but he takes some solace in one of his sister's friends. Sam,
저는 이분
played by Hayden Panettiere.
연기할 때만 이런 줄 알았는데 평상시에도 이런 발음이었다는 게 놀랬어.
The same house the next year to kind of find some closure.
Jessica is, she has a whole lot of personality. She is definitely the sort of mean girl character that, you know, at school she knows she's pretty, she knows that boys like her, and she's gonna use it to her advantage.
He's got a big heart, and you can tell that that's very evident, especially how he treats his girlfriend, Emily, and you know, he's kind of a meathead, but in the best way possible.
She really knows what she wants, and she manages to get that from whomever it is, whether it be Matt or Mike. You know, she's really driven, and I can definitely relate to that.
My character is Chris, and he is what society might consider the nerd of the group, and he kind of embraces it.
Ashley she's a little more serious than some of the other girls. She's definitely very intelligent and thoughtful. She kind of looks at the whole big picture of things. She's not quite as geeky as Chris, but they connect in a lot of ways.
Mike is like big guy on campus. He's a class president who has some charm and has brain, and I don't know, people seem to like Mike. He gets away with a lot though. He can be kind of jerky. The fact that he really just kind of wants everyone to be happy, and he wants he's a people pleaser.
이분도 되게 매력 있는데.
I can definitely attest to being, you know, that guy. I'm always the friend that wants everybody to be happy and wants everybody to be taken care of, and that's definitely Matt.
But also, like, this character is just so fun. I rarely get to play the bitch, and so it was really fun to do that.
The spirit of things, seriously, what's wrong with you?
Just trying to lighten the mood, Em. Don't be like that.
Like what?
The way you're being. You always get like this.
I just think this is just the coolest thing to be a part of, and I just think it's going to take the world by storm. I really do. I think this genre is the wave of the future, and I think that once people see the potential behind it, of getting to interact with the drama that you're witnessing unfold in such a realistic way.
마지막에 너무
this is how
비현실적이었어.
entertainment's going to be for
초반엔 되게 좋았는데. 아쉽네요. 그냥 현실적으로 쭉 가지. 드디어였습니다. 재밌었네요.